Hello and welcome everybody to 2015. In 2015, Nike is still making drivers. At the making of this video, it's the end of 2024. So let's say 10 years ago. Okay, in 2015, we have the Vapor and the Vapor Flex. Today we're going to focus on the Vapor Flex, okay? So there's this company out there. It's called Titleist. They make a great golf ball. They make great clubs. In 2015, they were paying some professional golfer named Jordan Spieth, very young at the time, who won the Masters and the US Open. Just casually, just won both. Just, hey, yo, my name is Jordan. I'm here till Sunday. I made the cut. I'm just going to win this tournament, you know? It was pretty awesome. But Nike is kind of struggling at this point. Okay, following financial news, Nike was kind of like decline. It was like, I think Bloomberg said that the Nike golf equipment, I don't remember the apparel, but the Nike golf equipment was like their worst performing major segment. It's like, ouch. So being the passionate people that they are at Nike, they made a business decision and just cut the equipment. They're like, we're just going to cut that out. We don't need it. Cut it. Bye. So now how have they aged? Looking back, this is my favorite part about this channel, is looking at equipment and looking back at equipment. Because hindsight's 2020, right? What's going on with Nike drivers? Are they still awesome? Were they ever awesome? Or are they now awesome? I don't know. Let's get this on the review table and have a closer look. Some quick identifying features. It says there's a big Nike swoosh here. Okay, kind of hard to miss. There's a Flex Flight here. Kind of hard to miss. On the toe, it says Vapor Flex with a huge Nike swoosh. On the crown, huge Nike swoosh. All right, so it's pretty well branded here. Before I dive too much into just looking at the whole club, I want to show you this weight. Okay, it's just a reversible weight. One side has a weight on it, the other side does not. And so you just do a quarter turn here, and this thing just pops out, okay? And you can see this side says mid. Is that showing up? Mid, and this side says low. So if you put the weight forward, that is supposed to change the trajectory to a lower trajectory, lower spin. Whereas if you put it like this, the weight will be at the back, give you maybe a little forgiveness and maybe a little more spin. I was reading something that was saying like 300 RPM, which seems like nothing. At the end of this video, watch the data. I hit it in a similar spot on the driver every time, and the spin is wildly different. So for me, as with my horrible ball, call it lack of consistency, I'm not sure that's going to do anything for me, but I'm going to leave it in mid for now. Okay, so I'm looking at this. You know, we have shiny Vapor branding right here on this steel, titanium, whatever this material is. We have this little fin, very similar to like tailor-made sim drivers of the time. And the weight right here. We have these little fins right here, again, which I'm not sure do anything, but they put them there for looks, which is cool. I don't mind that. I like things that look cool. They highlighted this area right here with some fluorescent paint. There's this cavity right here. I forgot what they call it. It's like a speed slot, but Nike's version of it. You can see it does have a torque screw in here to hold the shaft in place. This is a stiff flex sticker. And at the back here, it says Covert Cavity Back Technology, because empty space is technology these days. I already showed you the Vapor Flex Nike logo here. The face is different from the other Vapor in that it's black. The other Vapor I have has a silver face and it's bigger. I think this one might be 440cc. It does look a little smaller. It looks like there's a serial number right here. It looks like laser etched in titanium. That's what it looks like to me. There's a weight port right here. It looks like you could melt that out, and if you need to put some hot melt in here or something, maybe through that port. All right, there is some texture back here. The crown, I totally hit my light. The crown has what looks like, you know how like they have wraps on cars? It kind of looks like there's a wrap on here. It's not just painted. It looks like they stuck something on here or this fadey design. It kind of fades this triangle design up towards the crown. And there's no alignment line. It's just, you just go. That's what you do. You can align it up here with these fluorescent lines on the, fluorescent grooves on the face. As we move up, you can see obviously it is adjustable. This one is set to 11.5. I haven't even adjusted this. That explains some things. And then here, let's see if you can read this. Here it says tough cure. It's a cure. It's a Mitsubishi Diamana shaft to 60S flex, stiff flex. I put this sticker on here to remind me of the year, 2015. It will be upside down for you. And it's all branding here. This is a really sticky, squeaky Golf Pride grip. On the range, you'll hear this squeak in my glove the whole time. It's a tour wrap style white grip. So of note, this is not, it's adjustable, right? So this grip, and you'll hear me talk about this grip is not aligned with the head at the moment, but I could just unscrew this and adjust it, and then it would be, but I didn't, so I haven't. So you'll hear me mention something about the grip not being in line, but it doesn't really matter for our purposes. Let's cut to that range footage, and I'll tell you my feelings about this.
What is this monstrosity? It's 2015, and Nike is still around, and they came out with this Vapor Flex Flight. It's like Lex Luthor, Flex Luthor. So we'll see how this feels, but it's a Nike. I'm not buying this for any sort of stunning dynamic performance. The grip is fine. It's totally not lined up with anything. They just slapped it on here. Probably some seller who's just trying to move a club. The grip, it says Flex S, but it does feel pretty flexy. I'm not sure if that's just the weight of the head or something, but man, I tell you. We'll see how it feels. Nike at this time was struggling with like performance and apparently sales, because they dropped out of the equipment race, saying just that it wasn't profitable. But I mean, it feels like a pretty modern driver. I'd compare this to anything in the 20-teens, you know, as far as feel goes. It looks big and forgiving. That huge Nike swoosh just makes me happy. That big, bright yellow swoosh. A little fadey. Massive slice. Over 200. Data will be available at the end. I'll hit a few shots. Not any sort of sample that's going to be worth anything statistically, but it will give you an idea of how far this really bright fluorescent yellow branded driver is going. Wow. I mean, when you hit it sweet, like anything, it just feels really good. Over 200 again. Holy smokes. Nike Vapor. I mean, it's just a really, it feels, oh, you can see my ball strikes. A couple of, it's a little heely. We'll see if that plays out on the simulator as well. But clear strikes. Just a beautiful club. Nike collectible. Again, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and memories about how this thing performs and if you guys play this.
So this felt really good. It felt like when I go from hitting my vintage drivers and I hit this, I'm like, whoa, yes, thank you. Welcome back to the modern era. Represent modern era. Okay. So looking back at 2015, okay, hindsight. Does this represent the era well? Yes, absolutely. This is what the industry was moving towards and is at, where with user adjustability, right? It used to be, oh, we'll let the factory set it up for us. Now people want, oh, I want to think around and fine tune this. So, represents the era well. It performs well enough. Oh, by the way, at the end when you see the data, I usually hit a couple of warm-up shots, just make sure that I can, I'm warm up, and then I'll push record on the camera and record my shots. So I hit one before I recorded where it went further than the ones that I recorded. It was like 265 carry, which is good for me. Okay, that's nothing to write home about, but that's good for me. I was like, oh wow, sweet. I hit it kind of out of the sweet spot. I was like, awesome. So I pushed record, and I think I missed them all a little high and a little toey, but the data I think is pretty close, and I think it represents well what the club can do for me. So this, all the features that we're seeing in clubs, then and even now, today, some, okay? Adjustable weight, okay? Showed you that in the close-up. The speed slot, pretty common. Adjustable neck. In some composite materials. I know the 2016 when they announced composite materials, I don't know if this one has a composite crown, 440cc, I think. You know what else represents the Air very well? The 915 drivers that Jordan Spieth was using. Yeah, that represents the Air pretty well too, doesn't it? 2015, 915. Just saying, Titleist. Might want to check that out. So, okay, so what is this to me? This looks wonderful, all right? And how much of that plays into what I choose or my decisions? My decision for this is going in my range bag. I get people all the time who are like new golfers, right? Who are like, that I know that we're family friends with, and they're like, let's go to the driving range. Show me golf. Show me what golf is all about. There are some people that get like free passes for whatever reason. I got free pass to the range. I don't have any golf clubs. Come, let's go. I was like, all right, let's go. Sometimes teenagers, hey, let's go. You're a YouTuber. Can you like show me golf? I'm like, let's go to the range and we can decide if it's something you want to pursue. Okay. This is something that would go in that bag. But to me, this is very much a looks-based thing. Is that important? Yes, it is. All things being equal, I'm going to choose the club that I like the look of more. Do I like the look of this? Yes, but not something I want on 18 holes. Some things rely on looks. Okay, speaking of relying on looks, I got a high school story. Have I told the story before? Buckle up. I'm going to tell it. Okay, so one of my friends in high school, her older sister was a model. She was a model. She literally Sears catalog model. Okay, and we were at a girls' choice dance, and I forget which one it was, but we went to Denny's. Okay, let's have breakfast for dinner. Yeah, we'll be so cool. And so there's 8 of us in this big group, right? We had 3 separate cars, just 8 of us, just here at Denny's. And my friend, she's telling her story. Okay, and I know her. I'll tell you a little bit about her in a second, but so I know her pretty well, and so I'm listening to her, and we're good friends, and so she's telling the story that ends with, I'm not kidding. And then I said to her, it takes one to know one, and then all the guys, oh my sides, and it wasn't funny. I was like, ooh, in first grade that might have been funny, and so I look around and all the girls are looking at each other. Just like, that wasn't funny. And they're looking at me like, was that funny? I'm like, that wasn't funny. And all the guys are still just like, I was like, and at that moment, she was relying on her looks in that social setting. Okay, now a little bit about her. She was brilliant at math and science and analytics. She went on to get a science degree in college. Very smart individual, okay? But in that moment, do you see the parallels? In that moment, she was relying on her looks. Or at least for those guys, okay? That's how this is in my mind. This is relying on its looks, its fins, 50s Cadillac style. Look at me, I have fins, and some fine tuning, which for its target demographic is wishful thinking. Let's say it that way. So I really like this club. I really do. Because of its looks, but I'm putting it in my range back kind of looks like I want to hit this occasionally, not something I want to go put in my bag for my daily gamers. Not that I play daily, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts. Did you connect with this? Do you love this? Do you play a lot with this? Do you still have this in your back? I'm sure. I mean, it's a fine driver. It's fine. I'm sure you could game this every day, and I'm sure people do. Especially if you like the looks. So let me know your memories, thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions are more important than my opinions. As usual, huge shout out to my patrons. I really appreciate my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. And if you want to support the channel in another way, you can visit my Amazon shop. I'll put a link in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. Please stay tuned for the data collection at the end of the video. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe. I am the Vintage Golfer.